Hi there and welcome to this video. What we have here is an SDR5 in pieces. It's becoming a very popular model, but a lot of people want to see more. They said, yeah, Mike, hey, the website's fine, but I want to see some real parts. Could you do that for us? I said, absolutely. So consider this the introduction to the Mendeola SDR5. This is a 5-speed full synchro mesh transaxle based gear system. It's designed to handle 500 horsepower, 475 pounds-foot of torque, and this would be in a package from 2,800 to 3,000 pounds, and it would entail P350s tires on the rear of the vehicle. We'll start with the castings on my left. The larger of everything here is the bell housing. Now the bell housing that we show here is small block Chevy. This can also be an LS crate series. In front of that's a side cover. The gearbox needs 2 of those. Next to it is the shift housing, intermediate housing that entails all the rear bearings and activating system, rails and shift forks. And to my immediate left, this is the main case. Now, Mendeola Transaxle has been in off-road racing for over 45 years. So we pretty much have a handle on what this has to be to handle the power levels that we're going to aim it at. This will actually handle a lot more horsepower than we're feeding to it. And this case is used in another gearbox that's being R&D'd right now. If you notice on this unit, there's a lot of fins here, top, bottom, and both sides. These hold 2 purposes. Number 1 is strength. This thing is extremely strong. Like I said, it'll handle a whole lot more power than we're feeding to it. And number 2, when you increase the number of fins, you also increase the surface area of this case, and that comes in very handy when it comes time to cool the gearbox. A sweet spot for this unit is probably 180 to 210 degrees. You start pushing 220, maybe it's time to cool it, and we have all those ports are already machined and cast in if you feel like you've got to have them. Right here is our differential. I call it a positive traction unit. I'm an old guy. I come from the 60s and 70s. Everybody else currently today calls it an LSD, limited slip differential. Now, we tested a lot of these things. I mean, we tested everybody's stuff. Static ring, climbing ramp, Salisbury bias gears. But this unit, when we asked scale drivers, to drive our 914 mule, to the man they came back, Mike, this thing works pretty good. You should leave that thing alone. So we have. This is cone clutch based. The cone clutches are made out of bronze. It is preloaded spring type, ductile casting, and this does a very good job. It's very soft on entry throttle, and it's probably medium on exit throttle. Doesn't light the tires up, and it's a very well balanced in the vehicle. Front end of me, this is a ring and pinion. Now this is a 411 ratio that I have here. We also have a 355. Now we consider the 355 gear to be a cruiser gear. If you're going on long trips, you're going to car shows, the 355 is probably what you're going to want to stuff in the car. Limited RPM, best fuel mileage. If you want to wring every drop out of the tank, the 355 is probably it. We consider the 411 as a performance ratio. You want to come off a stop sign, want to come off a stoplight, the 411 will do exactly that. And again, that's why we refer to this as the performance item. This is the pinion bearing housing, pretty much exclusive to Mendeola Transaxle. Every pinion bearing housing is machined to the main case. This is a matched pair. When the time comes when this thing needs a ring and pinion, we have no pinion depth fixtures at all. Because every gear set is machined to an RO master depth, you don't have to screw with pinion depth at all. There are no fixtures again. You will have to adjust backlash. You do that by pulling the diff cups off. There's carrier bearing shims underneath the bearing cones. You swap them left to right, and we're looking probably 8 to 12 thousandths backlash. And if you hit that target, then you're going to be okay. The steel utilized in this is 9310 AQ. AQ is aircraft quality. Alloy steel, extremely strong. Before we get to the right here, I'm going to bring something up and we're going to hit this on video number 2. If you look at the parts I have here, these are for the combo box. Okay, now the combo box has been on the website probably maybe 4 months. A couple guys, a few guys really don't get the whole thing. I don't think I did a good enough job either on the website to explain this. In video number 2, we're going to spend 4 to 5 minutes just on a combo box, and I'm going to explain exactly what these parts do, what you have to take out of the gearbox as a full synchro items, and install this stuff. And what it does in a nutshell, it basically makes a full synchro SDR and H pattern dog ring transaxle. Okay, if you're a serious track day guy and you really thought, hey, you know, my car is going to be a daily driver, all of a sudden you went to a track, man, this is really a lot of fun, maybe I don't have a daily driver, this is going to be a track day car now. Once you convert it to an H pattern dog ring and you get good at that, you will never ever have another full synchro transmission in your car. Synchros will not even come close to being able to activate it like a dog ring will. It's not even in the same paragraph. To the far right here, everything that you see here that my hand is over, we now manufacture at Mendeola Transaxles in-house. A while ago we had real issues with outsourcing products, vendors that were supposed to have gears for us, and for you guys that had to wait so long to get your gearbox, I certainly apologize for that. It was something that we had to take over. I came in the shop one day just nuclear pissed and told the guys, fellas, I'm done with this. We're going to make this stuff ourselves. I will tell you, I've been in racing almost 50 years. This is the toughest job that I've ever tried to do. Tremendous amount of time. We basically went from installing gears to manufacturing gears, and it was a handful. And I really mean that. The gearing is also 9310 AQ, same properties as a ring and pinion, same heat treat. And this is very stout stuff. Input shaft is 300M, has excellent wrap up. This attenuates torque spikes coming down from the motor into the gear stack. The ultimate load doesn't change, but the amplitude of that shock will. Hopefully this covered most of what I needed to get to you. If I didn't cover everything and you're a customer that wants, you know, more than one answer, send me an email. Mike@MendeolaTransaxles.com. I'll do my best to get you an answer as soon as I can. One thing that I can't leave out, everything that you see here is manufactured in the USA. It's made in America. I served a tour in Vietnam in 1969 to 1970. I'm one of those old red, white, and blue crackpots. Everything that I can do to help this country, I'm the first guy in line. Once in a while we'll get a seal or a bearing. Guy will say, hey, we don't have those anymore. Okay, find me a good foreign component. I don't mind throwing it in there. We'll right back to square one with the USA stuff as soon as we can get to it. Thank you very much for watching this video and giving me part of your day. Have a good evening.